Hello everyone, welcome back to Amy's Bookshelf. So easily, the most asked question I get on mainly Instagram, but just social media in general is, do you have any tips on how to grow your Instagram or TikTok or whatever social media that you're trying to do, and just asking me how I managed to do it. So if you don't follow me on anything else apart from here, I have roughly 220,000 followers across all social media, mainly Instagram and TikTok. Instagram I've got just under 104,000 at the moment, and TikTok I've got I think 109,000. I'll put some screenshots up here so you can see them. So yeah, quite a lot. And I will start off by saying that I don't have a magic formula. There is no right way of doing it. A lot of it kind of comes down to right place, right time. And I'll go into that a little bit more later. But I wanted to use this video basically just to share some of my experiences, and try and give some tips or advice, or just, like I said, share what I have been through. And if you're starting out, then it might help with what you're doing as well. So I'm going to kind of split everything into roughly 5 areas of discussion. So the first one is basically just start. If you're not sure whether you want to start a Instagram, BookTok, whatever, and to be honest, this doesn't just apply to books, it applies to every niche and subject. If you're thinking of starting a social media for something, just do it. There is nothing you can lose from just starting. I know a lot of people that have started something, didn't love what they were doing and started again. Also absolutely fine. So you're not going to lose anything once you've started. You can start again if you want to, if you decide you want to go in a different direction, or you decide that you want to change your content. You know, there are really no rules. So don't worry about wondering if it's the right time to start. Just start. Just do it. So that's quite a straightforward piece of advice, but I think quite an important one, because a lot of people, I think, overthink it, and in reality you've just got to do it. You've got to bite the bullet and you've got to open Instagram and start your account. So my second bit of advice would be find a USP. Now this is really hard right now. I started my Instagram. My Instagram is where all of my social media basically started, and I started it in 2017. So that is now 6 years ago. And it was in my final year of university, literally just as I was ending, and I had a blog where I reviewed books, and I thought an Instagram would be a nice thing to go along with it, basically to promote the blog. That was the initial point of my social media, was to promote my blog. Obviously it's changed since then, and now my main focus is my Instagram and my TikTok, and not my blog. My blog is kind of a separate side project to those. So yeah, you ideally want a USP or unique selling point. I think for me, mine came about sort of unintentionally. I didn't really think about this much when I did posts. And something that's definitely, unfortunately, the case with social media is just that it's very oversaturated, and you can't get away from that. You're adding to that every time you start a new social media account. You can't escape it. There's just a lot of social media about. But what you don't want to be doing is just posting the same things that everybody else posts. Now that might sound intimidating and kind of scary, that you have to think of something different, but I think it's quite easy to do, because in reality, when you're doing it, you're always going to be slightly different from other people, because you put your own spin on it. You have your own tastes, you have your own taste in books, you have your own taste in editing. So it's always going to look a little bit different. So try and make yourself feel unique. And ideally, you want somebody to be able to see your post on their feed and know instantly it's yours without having to see who's posted it. So whether that's with a specific editing style, or just preferences in what you're posting, or something really unique. Now, going back to what I said before about how I did this accidentally, one of the things I'm sort of known for are my monthly TBR baskets. I'll put one here. These in themselves are not that complicated. They're also not that unique, in that a lot of people do annotated book posts where they talk about, say it's like a review, or there's just like certain tags or descriptions of the books, and they use these sort of annotations. But what I started doing was, on the first of every month, I would post a basket basically with all of the books I was planning on reading that month, and above them was their genre. I didn't really think much of this when I first started posting it, and when I first did it, it wasn't something I was planning on doing every month, but I quickly realised these were easily my most popular posts. And I'm still not 100% sure why. I think people just sort of like how clear the books are, and also because they say their genres, it helps people know whether it's a book they're also going to enjoy. So I think that's firstly why those are popular. And also for me, I pin it to the top of my Instagram every month so that people can see what I'm reading that month, and then hopefully marry it up with all the other posts I'm doing and see what I've been reading. And interestingly, when I went to a bookshop opening last year, I met somebody there, a fellow Bookstagrammer, who I'd never met before, and I think at the time I didn't follow her either. And we got chatting, and I introduced myself as, Amy, or Amy's Bookshelf online, and she said, "Oh, you're the one with the monthly TBR basket." And it was only then that I realised that is kind of what I'm known for. I don't think it's the only thing I'm known for, but it's certainly how a lot of people have found me, because a lot of those posts have been really popular. One of them I think got like 44,000 likes. So yeah, they are quite popular posts, so it's definitely bringing me a new audience. So I think that kind of USP is really helpful, because it's something you then get known for and you are liked for, and then you can keep going with it. Now, going back to what I said before, I know that kind of sounds scary, so don't overthink it, but if you do have an idea for something, I think it's a great way for people to be able to recognise you. Okay, number 3 is use social media as research. Now, this might just sound like I'm telling you to scroll through your phone a lot, which to be honest, I am, but I think the best way to understand what's working on social media is just by using it. So take some time to scroll through Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is, and actually take note of the posts that you are enjoying, that you think other people are enjoying as well. And that's not to say, copy them, but you can definitely be inspired by them. Use the save functionality and have like a folder on your saved page where you can like save inspo, whether that's like the way that something's been edited, whether it's like a real idea or just a topic of conversation that you could then get inspiration from. I think they're a great place to help you know what to post about, because I think something that people do struggle with is if they're trying to post every day, or they're trying to build a following, so they want to show up to social media really consistently, they struggle to know what to post about, which is fair enough. So I think using it as research and seeing what everyone else is doing, seeing what's popular, seeing what you like, because that's the most important thing, and then drawing inspiration from that is definitely a great source of content, and then can help you be inspired, and then will help you enjoy creating the content as well, because you'll be excited about it, which I think is very important too. So yeah, make sure you're just not aimlessly scrolling. Make sure you're using that time productively, and just save some things for later. Also, saving sounds for later is a really good tip as well, because then you don't have to scroll through things in a panic when you're trying to find a sound. If you're scrolling anyway, just make sure you save the sound if you do like it, or if you think you can use it in the future. My 4th tip would be to show up and not give up. So the first part of it, showing up, that's quite self-explanatory. Just show up as often as you can. I don't want to be one of those people that tells you you have to post on social media every single day in order to be successful. But the fact of the matter is, if you leave weeks of time between posting, you probably are going to struggle to build a larger audience. Obviously, it's not all about number of followers, but if you do want to build a larger audience and reach more people, you've just got to try and show up as often as you can. Might not be every day, but even every other day is helpful, because it just reminds people that you're there, it shows them new content, and obviously it then just increases your risk of finding new people, because Instagram and TikTok or whatever normally only push new posts, or they're going to spend a lot more time pushing new content than they are from content from 6 months ago, because things have usually moved on from then. And then the second part, don't give up, and I think this is probably the most important piece of advice in this entire video, because it is so easy to get disheartened by the fact that you've posted and it didn't get as many likes as you wanted, it didn't reach as many people as you wanted, nobody interacted with it, you didn't get any comments, etc, etc. And I'm not taking away from that, it is really disheartening, especially when you post content that you really love. I can't tell you the number of times I've taken a picture, been really happy with it, loved the way it's come out, and I've posted it and it's just not done that well. And like I said before, it's not all about how many likes you've got, how many followers you have, but you do want an engaged audience, and it's really frustrating when you know that you do have people that would enjoy the posts, but they just haven't seen it. We know social media is fickle, so just try not to get disheartened by the fact that sometimes Instagram's algorithm is just rubbish, or TikTok's algorithm is just rubbish, and you have to sort of accept that and just just keep going, post again the next day or whenever, and just keep going. And I guarantee at some point one of your posts will do better. One of your posts will catch more people's eye and it will head in the direction you want it to, and that will definitely give you some more motivation and spur you on to be able to get the enthusiasm to post more content. But yeah, just try not to give up, because I think if we all gave up when we had one rubbish post, there would be no content creators on social media, because it has happened to all of us. I can say quite easily, take Instagram for example, I have 103,000 followers on there. I can post sometimes and the post gets 400 likes. And it's not even an ad, it's just a post from me. Part of that is definitely that it hasn't reached the number of people I want it to. Obviously, if I've got 103,000, 104,000 people following me and the post reaches 4,000 people, you're just not going to get that many likes. So it's not your fault. I've not caused it to only reach that many people. I want it to reach my entire audience. But unfortunately, that is not the way social media works. So we do just have to accept that. And like I said, just keep going, keep posting, keep trying, and it will eventually work out. And the fifth piece of advice I want to give in this video is accept that sometimes you just get lucky. I know that's a really frustrating thing to say, but I am speaking completely from experience here. Now I won't go into loads of detail about my Instagram, TikTok journey, because to be honest, it's probably quite boring to most people, but TikTok is actually a really good example of where this happened to me. So I started a TikTok mainly because everyone was talking about it and I quite enjoyed Reels. So I thought, I'll move over to TikTok and I can kind of use the same content, so I'm not having to create too much extra work for myself. But I figured, let's have a presence on TikTok. That'll be good for like ads and good for my brand generally, because then people can find me. And I probably used TikTok for maybe 3 months and had 500, 600 followers. I wasn't, really pushing it, but I was trying a little bit. I was posting semi-regularly, and I just accepted, Instagram is my bag. That's where I've grown my audience, so I'm just going to put the most effort into that. Until one day I posted this video, and that was almost a year ago now. I think it was June 2022. And it is on 8 million views. And can I tell you why it's on 8 million views? No, I just got lucky. People just liked the video. And to be honest, I found the sound for this and thought the way that the music dropped worked really well with my phone going into the books and coming back out again. So I just utilised that. And I think that's partially why the video did so well, because it's quite aesthetically pleasing. But the idea for the video, books I'd sell my soul to read for the first time again, that was not my idea. I'd seen a lot of videos on TikTok that had already done that. So that is a great example of where I used my time on TikTok as research, and then used that to help myself. So once this video started going viral, I just gained an insane amount of followers. So I went from having, 1,000 followers to having 70, 80,000 followers, and ever since then I've been gaining about 50 a day. So it's quite a steady growth, and now, yeah, like I said, I'm on nearly 110,000 followers. So, and it is pretty much all down to that one video. I've had a lot of viral videos since then. I think I've had about 4 that have got over 1 million, and then quite a few that have got, a couple of 100,000. So I've had a fair amount of viral videos, but I can say with quite a lot of certainty that most of my followers have come from that one video. That does have a lot of ups and downs. Again, I won't get into that in this video. Social media generally though is not all about gaining a lot of followers overnight, because you want the engagement to come with it, and you only really get an engaged audience over time, because they have to have time to love you, to love your content, and realise how much they want to follow you and enjoy your content. That doesn't happen overnight. So gaining overnight followers isn't always a good thing, but that's for a separate video. So I think that's everything I sort of wanted to cover. This is only a short video, but like I said, it's a question I get so much on social media that I thought I would just address it here and hopefully help anybody who is thinking of starting a book social media account or just any kind of social media account. And if you've got any follow-up questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I want to do another Q&A soon, because it's been about a year since I did my last one. So obviously if there are any other following or social media or content creation related questions, then look out for it on my Instagram stories, and I'll hopefully be able to post that very soon. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like it and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.